still tacking up.
As a jockey, Sam Thomas rode at the very highest level. Of course, he won the Cheltenham Gold Cup in 2008 on Denman. But the transition from top jockey to top trainer hasn't always been an easy one.
Gonna go the other way now, Wedgie, a few times. That's quick enough, Jim. That's quick enough. All right, Wedgie, that'll do you, good man.
But through horses like this is I Will Do It, who goes for a second Welsh National shortly after Christmas. His training career is on the up.
I Will Do It has just won the Coral Welsh Grand National. I Will Do It wins.
Why he's let me ride him, I don't know. Come on, lad. I Will Do It, of course, has been a horse of a lifetime for you, really. He's won a Coral Welsh National, going for a second now. It's much harder with 12 stone on his back, obviously.
Yeah, no, it's different kettle of fish. Obviously, the year we won it, Native River kept the weights down for us, albeit, we were off a much lower mark anyway back then. So it is going to be a much tougher race for him. We know he loves all the conditions. Doesn't matter how soft it's going to be. That's not going to be an issue. The main issue is the weight, really. I just don't know whether we can carry it, but we're going to go and give it our best shot.
It's quite an amazing story, actually, and what horse. People dream of having horses like that, and he's just gone from pillar to pillar, strength to strength. Like, he's just such a cool horse to have. But you wouldn't, when you ride him, you wouldn't be like, wow, this is a special horse. He's quite simple. He just bumbles along and off he goes, but he just stays all day and just loves his job.
Flying right there.
Leah, you look after I Will Do It. First off, what's his nickname?
Diggy.
And what's he like? Come on.
He's a hell of a character. He's just got his little quirks, like he's not a great eater, but that doesn't matter to him. And he's the type of horse, you can do a piece of work on him up the hill and he will be absolutely bouncing coming home. He'll be jogging, he'll be throwing himself around. He just absolutely loves his work.
He's sort of at the age now where he knows exactly what he's doing. He wasn't the easiest to train in his early days. He used to get very picky and fussy with his feed, but now that's all behind him. And once he's in his routine, Luke, yeah, he just gets on with life. And it's sad to say, really, but he just you don't notice him on the gallops day to day because he's just there doing his thing. He's not flashy, he just gets on with it. But then he gets to the racetrack and he really comes alive. That's quick enough, Jim. That's quick enough. Four. Do you want to go the other way now, Wedgie, a few times? Good man. Fresh and well.
How often would you school him, Sam?
As and when, really, Luke. I mean, depending on the horse. Once a week, I would imagine, really, and just, like I say, depending on the horse. We're lucky we've got this school, and the old-fashioned way of schooling, going up over 3 or 4 and pulling up, starting again, I think we've seen it time and time again now. Lots of trainers are doing this and have round facilities. I better tell Wedgie to pull up. He's going to run away with. He's done it already. That'll do, Wedgie!
You rode so successfully for Paul Nicholls. Do you try and mimic what he does, or training-wise?
To be honest, Luke, I think when I was riding, you're very much in the jockey mode, and I didn't probably take in as much as maybe what I should have done in terms of the training regimes. I think the schooling aspect is the one thing I probably do more of now in here. As a jockey, all you want to do is ride good horses, and I went to Paul's and probably rode for him for the first part carefree and rode the horses my own way. And over time, it does get to you slightly. The pressure is enormous, really, and rightly so. You're riding the best horses in the country. Paul's under a lot of pressure of training for big owners. So yeah, it can be difficult when things don't go well. So yeah, we had some amazing times and very fond memories. Denman, obviously, for obvious reasons, he was an incredible horse and a once-in-a-lifetime horse, but it was an amazing time. And like I say, at the time, young jockey, I just thought that was the norm.
It'd be remiss of me not to mention the awful helicopter crash that you were involved in. That must have, well, it's unthinkable for someone who hadn't experienced that, what it must be like.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It took me a long time to mentally get back to how I wanted to be, I guess. I thought I was okay. I went racing, I think, a couple of weeks after, and so now people are saying to me, God, you look like a ghost when we saw you then. And I didn't think it at the time. I thought I was just doing the right thing. But yeah, it does take time. And ultimately, I call this my job, but we're out in the fresh air. I've got my wife that works with me, got a lovely family around here, and a great team of staff. And it doesn't last forever, doing this, but I'm just really enjoying what we're doing here, and I'm very lucky.
It was crazy. The phone call I got when I was actually at the yard at the time, and yeah, just getting a phone call saying that they'd been in a helicopter crash was horrendous, but how Sam has actually pulled through is amazing. You never hear him moan about it, he gets on with it. I think he had 2 days off and he was back in the yard again. That was a bit of a shock to the system, and how we managed even last year to still have some good winners and win some big races was amazing.
Leah, you mind getting Doogie ready now then, please? You can take my tack.
Sam, when you've got a yard this size, it's very much hands-on. You're doing the gallop, you're doing just about everything.
Yeah, no, and I like it that way, Luke. It's a nice variety. Then you're not just stuck doing one thing. I'm not in the office very often, and do a little bit in the morning just to look at races, and then I'm out checking legs, and yeah, it's great. I get a chance to do everything.
I was mentioning earlier on about, just because you're a good jockey doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be a good trainer, and you weren't an instant success.
No, I mean, I make no bones about it. Yeah, I sort of was very naive and got into it probably sooner than I needed to. Should have done more homework, and should have probably gone and been more of an assistant to other trainers. But yeah, I learnt on the job, and fortunately, we've got the hang of it now. Keep him trotting, Casey. All right.
And the pressure for Sam is quite a lot, just because, like anyone, we all want winners here. I sometimes, have to keep him in check, just because he can get a bit chopsy, but we keep him in line, so he's fine. We're very fortunate. We have some incredible horses that we're training here, and we've got a great team behind us.
We've got the horses from a very young age, so we're able to put our mould on them from a young age. We do lots of flat work when they're broken in. You can see they carry themselves really nicely, and it makes them a nicer horse to ride down the future, and hopefully keeps them sounder for longer, really, if they're up together and being ridden properly. It doesn't always work, don't get me wrong, but I think if you're able to get them in your way of thinking from a young age, you should have a better horse for it. What you're seeing now is what we like to see, really. The horses are very relaxed, lobbing away. You get the keen one now and again, but generally they get into our way of training, and I think, like I say, when they're winning, you see a better result. They hit the line very hard, and yeah, please God, we can keep them healthy and keep it all going.
And they're off. They race for the Coral Welsh Grand National. I Will Do It and Stan Shepherd. They're led by 3 lengths. I Will Do It from the Sam Thomas yard. I Will Do It has just won the Coral Welsh Grand National.
I think this year he's even better than he was last year. Like, he just keeps gaining strength. He's a real late developer, I think, as a horse. And yeah, I just think, he has got the weight, but he's a tough cookie, and he's had not a hard season already. He's run once we took him up to Aintree, and he ran an absolute blinder there. Just shame we were missing a few hurdles. But yeah, he's, fingers crossed. I mean, you don't know until the day, do you? Like, it's jump racing, anything can happen.
Good lad. You tell him what he does when he does that rearing thing.
He'll only do it once.
He started off quite weak, and I know I say it every year, but every year he comes back bigger, stronger, feels better, and yeah, he just loves his work. You couldn't find another horse that'll just keep galloping for you all day long. If you left him on the sand and just dropped your hands, he'd just keep going and go. He wouldn't stop. For Wales, it's the biggest race we have on the calendar. If you're a Welsh trainer, if you're a Welsh jockey, a Welsh groom, it's an unbelievable thing to be able to say you've been involved with a Welsh National winner.
You need those weekend winners. You do need those good horses, and they don't come around very often. So although he's 10, going to be 11 soon, we're still really, making sure we look after him. We don't over race him. Please God, he has a good, safe trip round in this year's Coral National, and hopefully there'll be more to come still.